or judgment of others, if they could just look behind their faces and see where they came from, how they grew up, how they were treated, never loved, shoved around, mistreated, rejected. When you see people who come from those circumstances, don't expect them to come pouring out genuine love upon you when they don't even know how. Jesus understood. He understood Peter, for example, who was a strong-willed fisherman, and he had to bring him down to himself a few times. What was he doing? Was he criticizing him? No. He was understanding him. And when Peter said, Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother? 7 times? A little bit prideful about that. And Jesus had to say, knowing where Peter came from and knowing that even a couple of times it would have been hard for him probably. And he said 70 times 7. He understood where he was coming from. He understood his emotional makeup. And I think oftentimes we have expectations of people, if we could just look beyond the surface, we would understand why they treat us the way they do. Understanding people and being willing to understand them is very important. If I'm going to love somebody and love them with genuine love and truly caring for them, I'm going to ask the question, where do they come from? What's going on in their life? You and I have a responsibility to understand people around us. You work with people who act in a way that you wouldn't dare act. So what do? Get mad and say, maybe say things you shouldn't say? Where do they come from? What influenced them? What kind of family did they grow up in? Was it difficult in their life? Did they come from a family where they felt rejected and unloved? There are going to be consequences. You have to ask yourself the question, am I willing to love this person for better or worse? Well, God loves you and me for better or for worse. And all of us would have to say sometimes, God, it's worse. Because we're not perfect. We're all emotional beings and we're affected by different things. So how did he love? He loved, as we said, for example, in this particular passage, selflessly. And he loved understandingly, and he loved also forgivingly. A person who genuinely loves is forgiving no matter what. You say, yeah, but you don't know what they did. How many times have you gone to God and asked him to forgive you for the same thing over and over and over again? Did he ever say, one more time and you're out? No. You went to him over and over and over again, and he forgave you. Think about this. What right do you and I have not to forgive somebody for anything when God has forgiven us continuously? I remember the first time it really hit me, and I was teaching at a Bible Institute, and all the guys were pastors, and one of them came to me one day, and he said, he was getting ready to go into the jail to witness to a person. So I said, well, who is this person? He said, he's the man who killed my mother last week drinking while he was driving. There is no point at which you and I are not to be forgiving. You can't name anything. And when I think about people who are unforgiving, I think about this because it's true. An unforgiving person is a miserable person. They're unhappy. They have no peace. We say we reap what we sow, more than we sow and later than we sow. When you sow unforgiveness, you reap the results of unforgiveness.